We've been taught to believe that the menace to society was the fraternity alpha male. It isn't. Society is being subjected to the sociopathy of a bunch of tech CEOs who, in my view, did not get laid enough as young men. So let's talk about why Scott Galloway's assessment of the problem with young men here is not only wrong, but, in my view, dangerous. So in the article that Galloway links to in that tweet, he talks at length about this. Argues that it leads to social isolation and a lack of social skills among men, which leads to young men just staying at home, incapable of making the first move, and so not only single but also a bad worker. And there are a lot of logical leaps occurring here, a lot to take issue with. I'm going to just focus on two problems though. And I'm going to put this first one as crassly as possible. If you want somebody to fuck you, you have to be fuckable. And while Galloway does frequently talk about how men should be physically fit, he rarely talks about how they should be interesting, good conversationalists, good listeners, thoughtful and considerate and empathetic, in possession of the qualities that women say they want. If he truly thinks that the problem is that young men need to be getting laid, how about we talk about the qualities that might get them laid? I suspect that the reason that he doesn't, and this is problem number 2, is that consciously or not, he is pushing the idea that men are entitled to sex with women. That by default, they should be getting laid. Just in case you think that I am imagining this angle, he does link in this piece to an article that talks about how it is so much harder for men to get the approval of women on dating apps. Because, as Galloway himself has said before, women are just too choosy. Wouldn't it be so much better if they were just a little more open-minded? Because a huge part of the problem for Galloway and people who think like this, like these people do, is that women just won't give them what they want. And wouldn't it be easier and better for everyone if you just lie back and think of England? Because the problem here is entitlement, and then the grievance that it leads to. And framing the problem in this way will only generate more aggrieved entitlement.